Good evening, everybody. This is your host, Folk, and welcome back to another episode of the Channel 256 News brought to you by Bitcoin Mining World. The date is September 15th on a Monday evening. Bitcoin currently sitting above $115,000 after a pretty eventful weekend when it comes to price action. Over here, we got the Bitcoin net hash rate sitting back above 1 zettahash. Looking over on the weekly chart, you don't see too much volatility besides a few of the big players unplugging over the weekend, getting down below 900 exahash. However, things are still rocking and rolling on the daily, and then if you check over here on the monthly, it looks like a stable coin. It's sitting about $53, $54 price per petahash. Once again, if you're not aware what that is, it's what you're getting paid in sats based on a few prerequisites of pools that they take into consideration, but that is before power costs. So for every petahash that you're contributing to the Bitcoin network, you're earning about on average $53.69. Over here in traditional finance, pretty crazy Monday. Things pretty stable over here on the Dow. The S&P, however, closing above $6,600 for the first time ever, really starting to break above those past resistance points that we've been talking about over the last few months. I know we ended off last week with a bang, which was really nice to see. However, we do have a little bit more room to go. Hopefully, during this FOMC meeting here on Wednesday, Jerome Powell comes out and signifies not only just a nice rate cut, it's almost guaranteed that we're at least getting a 25 basis point cut. However, if we get a 50 point basis cut along with JP signaling that there's going to be more rate cuts in the future, could lead to some really nice times over the next few weeks. Over here on the NASDAQ, up almost 1%, closing above that $22,300 level, up 200 points on the day, and even the Russell being able to come in on the green, up 8 points, just over about 0.3%. Taking a look at the weekly chart, though, you can see some of the volatility that we were getting over the weekend, up from our lows of about $110,000, $111,000, all the way up to $116,700. Getting close to that $117,000 mark, which is just great to see. Nice recovery coming out of the markets over the past few days. It's just nice. It's some nice hopium that we've needed for a little bit now. Over here from the Miner Mag, we got Bitcoin miners market cap nears $50 billion as stock stage comeback. Shares of publicly traded Bitcoin miners have staged a strong comeback over the past week, with several companies advising sharply and number settling fresh 52-week highs on Monday. Bitfarms led the rally, jumping 17% to $2.61, bringing its market cap to $1.47 billion. High followed with an 11.8% gain, closing at $4.26 billion. Huge. Both stocks have now nearly doubled from their lows earlier this year as Bitcoin mining equities ride renewed momentum in the broader crypto sector. Super cool to see more of these big players getting some gains out of the markets. Over here, we got Bitfarms. Can just show you it opened up quite a bit in the green. Did take a little bit of the dive, but still managing to close over $2.48, along with Hive over here. Started off the day super strong, just right after opening this morning, taking a huge 25 cent jump, which when it comes to Hive, that was probably about 10% jump right off the day, but not managing to close with that same momentum, closing down here at the $3.96 range. But you can see in futures markets, we've picked back over $4. I know some of you guys have some Bitcoin mining stocks worked into your retirement plan, so it's always nice to see everybody's getting their exposure the way that they can. Personally, we would rather all hold just straight sats in the wallet, but it is nice for the people that don't have the same access or are not as technically savvy in the field. Over here, kind of cool random story. We got ZBD's SDK powers Bitcoin earnings and mobile game, driving 124% revenue growth. ZBD, a Bitcoin mining payments firm, has embedded real money rewards via Lightning Network into Tap Nation's Idle Bank. Not too sure what Idle Bank is. I don't know if any of you guys play it down there. If you do, drop a comment down below. It'd be kind of cool to interested to see if any of you guys are gaining on this. But I believe it's some sort of reward mechanism where they're giving out a couple hundred sats per player per day. But what one thing that is interesting, and hopefully it goes to show more people in this space, is the retention rate of their players. Seeing some massive spikes over here. Hopefully we can find that soon. It's just been huge overall. Nice to see. Over here from the block, we've got strategy co-founder Michael Saylor and other crypto executives to join lawmakers in Washington to advance strategic Bitcoin reserve bill. Of course, we've got Senator Kathy Loomis up there, front and center, the Bitcoin maxi queen. Cool to see everybody's coming together to talk to her. Hopefully, there's not nearly as much focus on all these shit coins as there was originally when it came to talks from Trump's when he's mentioning coins like XRP, ADA, and Sol. If you guys do have exposure, more power to you. But personally, I think it's kind of a waste of the time and a waste of taxpayer dollars to be paying attention to alts like that. A little bit of a short episode on this Monday evening, but I hope you guys did have a great weekend. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can always be notified when we're uploading new content or going live. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great evening. Peace.